in January, we're also going to gather the newsroom around a whiteboard and really figure out exactly what we're going to
Right.
focus on.
Right, the kinds of stories, the kinds of what mediums we're going to use, channels. So we've talked about potentially doing a podcast series around this topic, a newsletter, which we've been doing more and more of, and we've been very successful in reaching audiences with. So maybe a newsletter, our stories, or series that we routinely run in the Sunday edition and throughout the week. Events. I'd love for us to be able to, as I said earlier, convene communities and have workshops and roundtables with people in the community so that we can generate a list of story ideas and possible solutions. And I'll get back to that right now, but I wanted to invite our managing editor, Sassy, on here, and I'll be behind the scenes if you have any questions.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to ring the bell and say thank you so much for your contributions today. I'm so proud to live in in a community where we support local journalism. Your funding will help us cover important issues, like I'm sure Karen and Carlos had mentioned, affordable housing. It has a trickle-down effect to all different aspects, what kind of education you receive, from how do you travel to work. If I haven't introduced myself, which I haven't, my name is Isaskun Laraneta. I'm managing editor here. I have my own personal housing experience. I shared it with Karen and Carlos before. When I first came to this region, I did have money for my first, month's rent, your security deposit, your last month's rent. I rented a room for $300 for probably a good 9 months, which allowed me to save and put my, down payment on my first apartment. So this issue resonates with me personally too. So I just wanted to thank you for contributing. Please continue to do so. We have a lot of work to do.
So all day today, as you made your donations on our Give Butter website, Isaskun was ringing the bell as I updated a little whiteboard that we had, and it's a different kind of journalism for us, to be sure, but really exciting. And because of because of the faith and trust that you all have in us, we have to make this project superlative.
And we will, we promise. We are not going to, foolishly waste your donations. We are going to be very wise in how we use it. But, this is a topic that we need to dedicate extra resources, and that means more money. And as you are well aware, journalism, we're not free. It's not cheap. We have to pay people, get documents. Every little bit helps.
We really couldn't do a project this deep without being funded through outside sources at this point because of, sort of the state of our industry. Our reporters that we have here, our multimedia staff, everybody is flat out just covering their beats, as we call them. And I know that you see we've been super busy on game day, especially recently, so you see that all the time. We just can't do something like this without extra finances.
And it's true, when we get, even to cover a story, we have to go and get copies of the documents. That costs money. The technology right now, all this equipment, and we hopefully plan to expand that and invest more into that. It all costs money, and, we can't do this without your support. We need you to subscribe to the paper as well, so we can continue doing this hard work. I always say that journalism is a calling. It's not for everyone. We certainly don't do it for the money, but, we are a business too, and we need your support, especially for this in-depth investigation, which I'm really excited about. And I know we're going to do a product and provide stories and videos and podcasts that you're all going to enjoy. So thank you for trusting us with that.
Thank you, Sassy, for coming on. I knew we could talk you into it.
All right. And I'm going to keep on ringing the bell every time I get a donation. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I think she brought up a couple of good points about how the money's going to be used, and we kind of been hinting a little bit about more broadly, but more specifically, I think we're looking at ways to upgrade our technology. So I'm looking at a couple of platforms that will allow us to engage with the audience a little bit better digitally through forms and surveys. I think that's going to be a big part of this project, where we survey the community in person, but also digitally, to see what the needs are, to see what the concerns are, to see what questions are out there, and to also, find the people's whose stories need to be told. And then there's there's translation services. I think we need to make a big effort to ensure that whatever stories, whatever content we create out of this project, whatever investigations we produce, are widely available to everybody, and that includes people, Spanish-speaking community, or maybe there's other languages that we can translate our content to ensure that everyone that is impacted by the issue gets a chance to read it, gets a chance to partake in the project. Other possible expenses are marketing, right? We have an audience, obviously, our readers and our followers on Facebook, but that's not everybody in southeastern Connecticut. I think we would probably use marketing through paid ads on Facebook and other social media platforms, and through email marketing, to reach a wider audience, to grow our audience and increase our reach. There's also, we talked about doing a podcast that's not free. We need a hosting plan, which is not super expensive, but it's still an additional cost. But the biggest cost in our operation on any given day is the cost of our staff, of our dedicated staff, hardworking staff, passionate staff. I've been here 8 years, and it's amazing to work with people that are so passionate and so invested in what they're doing on a daily basis. And it costs money. That's the biggest expense, and we want to be able to, as we've been saying, expand our capacity, and that means we need additional staff to do it. And that might mean that we hire reporters to come in and take over a town beat for a period, and then redistribute some of the resources that we have currently, but it still requires that we increase staffing, which, as you've said, we don't have the ability to do now financially. We more and more over the last few years have had to rely on our readers and viewers through subscriptions, and now through donations. And I think that's a big ask, but also I think it's a big opportunity, not only for us, but a big opportunity for the community.
So one of the issues that has come up, because we've received donations from both familiar names and from some people who wanted to donate anonymously, one of the issues that has come up is around the ethical issue of us taking donations for our journalism. And we just want to assure you over and over, really, that we have adopted an ethics policy. Actually, I'm going to hopefully not bore you by reading it. It's not long. And then if there are any questions, we can take some questions. So, the Day maintains full editorial control over the stories and other content paid for by the Day's Community Journalism Fund Housing Solutions Lab. Funders do not have special access to the newsroom or input into what investigations are pursued. Donors are not informed about the reporting process, nor are they allowed to review content prior to publication. So that's our ethics policy. Having said that, I do want our audience to know that we, at the same time, are listening to you and taking your questions and thoughts into account as we move forward with this.
Yeah, and I think that ethics statement is really no different than how we handle our relationship with advertisers, for instance. We have advertisers that support us through their advertising money, but that does not mean that they have any special access to our staff. But that statement and more information will be available in every communication that we have with potential donors, with potential grant makers, and when we launch the home site for this project, it'll be a main section in that website so that it's clear to everybody. And yeah, I mean, I feel strongly that this kind of model of community support is going to be a vital part of our organization for the years to come. And we've talked about the possibility of extending this over the next few years to maybe investigate other issues that affect our communities economically, like healthcare or education. There are a lot of opportunities in this model, but it does require the support of our readers, of the local foundations, of philanthropic community and family funds. So, and again, this is all new to us, so we're kind of learning, and it kind of has strengthened my thinking about this, how vital and important community journalism is, right? I mean, we can't do it without our community and our readers, and in return we offer a really important service and information and entertainment and stories, and it's a great thing to be involved in.
It really is, and one of the gratifying things that occurred today was that as some of you made your donations, you left us some comments. I actually meant to print some of them out, but they were very encouraging in terms of our value to the community, which we don't always hear about. So when we do hear about it, it really means a lot, and I just want to thank you again.
Yeah, there were some great comments and dedications too. People were dedicating their donations in memory of somebody. I don't know if it was a family or friend. So that was really heartwarming as well. Yeah.
Do we're here with Peter Wappy today, by the way, who's running our equipment for us as usual. Do we have any questions at this point, Peter?
So we'll post this. This will be available to view live, view on demand afterwards. So we encourage you, whether you see this on Facebook or on Instagram, that if you have any questions, that you reach out to us either through Facebook comment or a Facebook DM. Same thing with Instagram. And you could also send us an email, and Karen's email is k.florin, Florin, @theday.com. So that's k.florin @theday.com. And my email address is c.virgen @theday.com. Reach either one of us, both of us, and we'll get right back to you. If you're interested in helping us formulate story ideas for the project, if you've got a story to tell, you know someone that has a compelling story that needs to be heard, if you're a funder, if you have the ability to support us financially and would like to talk more about the project, we'd love to hear from you. If you want to donate now, you could still donate, even though it was geared towards Giving Tuesday, and we were hoping to raise our goal by today. Our fundraising will continue for the rest of the calendar year, and then it'll likely turn over into a new fundraising campaign with the January the 1st. That will be the launch of our bigger project.
Thank you very much again, and please reach out to us with any questions or offers of information.